Rolling blackouts begin in Aiken County. We'll take you live where crews are working to turn your power back on in these freezing temperatures.
News 12 Midday in high definition starts now.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jessica Dill. Thank you for joining us. We've seen piercing winds, school delays, and school closures. Now rolling power blackouts are to come. If you live in South Carolina, your electric service could be impacted by this extreme cold. Our On Your Side reporter, Jerome Collins, is braving some cold temperatures right now alongside power crews. Jerome.
That's right, Jessica. The cold is bad enough for us, but it's also causing some problems for SCE&G, which is experiencing high demand. They say that they've lost part of their generating system, and as a result, to protect that electric grid, they will be conducting rolling blackouts. Now, these blackouts, they say, will last approximately 15 minutes, nothing longer than that. They're urging people who are not using specific appliances to go ahead and just turn those items off, unplug them if they're not in use. Now, there will be no prior warnings, we're being told, before these rolling blackouts occur. Now, we understand there have been some here in the North Augusta area, and we also are aware of some in Aiken County as well as Edgefield County. Earlier today, we actually pulled up some numbers around 9:30 this morning. There were 5,000 people in Aiken County with no power. That number has now been reduced to just about 150 as of 11:30 this morning. And as far as Edgefield County, 1,000 people without power. As of 9:30, that number is now reduced to less than 10 residents. So it is improving, and they say throughout the day, those power outages will be less and less of those. Now, if you want to report one power outage in your area, please go ahead and call 888-333-4465. 888-333-4465. We're braving it out here in the cold. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thank you for that, Jerome. Stay warm. And it's still pretty frigid outside this morning. We'll take a look outside at Calhoun Expressway and Georgia Avenue for a second before talking with meteorologist Tim Strong. Tim, we've been up all morning and you've been tracking this polar vortex for weeks. And we did break a record, right?
We actually really did, yeah. Those are beautiful tower cam images, but you get outside, that really tells the story. We still actually have some advisories. Western counties in the CSRA, all the way out towards Atlanta and Macon. That wind chill advisory remains in effect for just a little under an hour to 1 p.m. Now again, we did break a record low, 12 degrees, 15 was the old record set back in 1970, and then there was even a record low tomorrow from 1970, but it doesn't appear that we're going to be breaking any more records going into the overnight. We've climbed to 22, and we've got the wind chill value at 22, so that tells us winds have actually diminished quite a bit since earlier this morning, and it didn't really take much of a breeze at all to just make it that much bitterly cold. Across the south, though, we find some scattered clouds. I-65 between Montgomery and Dothan, Alabama, Albany down to northern Florida, but the chill was down across northern Florida as well. Sunny skies for the rest of the day, managing possibly just to get to about that freezing mark for highs. Then it's back into the 20s as we go towards this evening, 29 to 24 at 7 p.m. We will see the chance to get back into those teens for tomorrow morning. Skies should remain clear, but we'll see a warm up. We'll talk more about it coming up shortly. Jess?
Thank you, Tim. A lot of schools in our area are in session right now with a 2-hour delay, though. The Aiken County District says some buses could be up to 2 hours behind schedule because of the cold. Now, Richmond County officials say only one bus failed to start in the district. Looking at some full-on closings in the area for District 4 in Orangeburg County. School is closed today. The same goes for Washington County School. School is closed there today, too. Now, here are the 2-hour delays already announced for tomorrow, Wednesday. There are a lot of other changes this midday for schools in our area. We've got the full list online, WRDW.com. And every state in the country except Hawaii has at least one area where the temperature is below freezing. Allison Harmelin explains the polar vortex affecting an estimated 187 million Americans.
It's the coldest day in New York Central Park since 1896. The temperature dropped to 5 degrees, breaking a 118-year-old record. Powerful winds make it feel well below zero. The teeth-chattering cold forced this runner to cut his jog in half.
I was shooting for 5. That's what my Nike app asked me to do, but I told Nike app not today.
This dog walker's longing for the dog days of summer.
I'm a new puppy owner, so I kind of have to brave the cold no matter what.
The massive Arctic air that's put much of the nation in a deep freeze may have caused a water main to burst on Summer Street in Elizabeth, New Jersey. The blast of frosty air was a rude awakening for New Yorkers who were enjoying unseasonably warm 50-degree temperatures just yesterday. It won't be above freezing here for another several days. In Illinois, snowdrifts and sheets of ice stopped 3 Amtrak trains on their way to Chicago. Stranded passengers ended up taking buses to their destinations. This car was caught on camera doing a 360 on an icy street in Chicago. Atlanta is anything but hot-Lanta. It was just 6 degrees there this morning with a wind chill of -10. Wind chill warnings are in effect as far south as Florida. Airlines canceled 1,800 flights and delayed hundreds more. At some airports, the fuel itself was freezing. Allison Harmelin for CBS News, New York.
And just like in our area, all over the nation, schools are closed or have shortened days. The power has been knocked out in several states, leaving many people without heat. And Georgia police are warning drivers to not leave your cars unattended when warming them up. That action is actually called puffing. And most of us can say that we've done it. In Savannah, multiple cars have been stolen with the keys in the ignition. It might feel like a good idea to get your car warmed up, but it'll feel much worse if something does happen to your car. And actually, in some states, it's illegal to puff your car for the chance your car may slide into gear without you there. And as you may remember, there were some cars on Washington Road in Augusta that were left unattended and stolen last month. And some of you may have woken up with frozen pipes or possibly heading home today with frozen pipes too. Well, we are on your side with a solution. The Georgia Insurance Commissioner says some policies may cover repairs to plumbing caused by frozen pipes. Policies may also pay for carpet, furniture, and other damages from those frozen pipes. Here's some advice from a local plumber. Open up the cabinet doors below the sink that will allow heat to better reach your pipes.
Mostly drip your cold water. The hot water will get residual heat up through the line. You don't have to worry about that as much.
If the doors are closed, the heat can't really get to them. If you open them up, then the heat can get in there where the pipes are at so they won't freeze up.
If you're worried about the extra money when it comes to your electric or water bill, think about it this way. A broken pipe, that could cost you a lot more. And maybe you are without power today. If you're looking for a warm place to go, Richmond County EMS says it'll have its usual community centers open. The locations are listed here on your screen. As of right now, there are no plans to open anymore. And new this midday, a woman is in jail after deputies say she stabbed her boyfriend multiple times. Deputies say 24-year-old Elizabeth Staten stabbed her boyfriend, Robert McBride, in the arm, the back, and the chest on Friday. They say it happened on Garden Brook Court. That's in South Augusta off Meadowbrook Drive. And we are following an investigation into a double shooting in Augusta last night. Richmond County deputies say 2 people were shot on Georgetown Drive near Deansbridge Road. Authorities were called to the scene at 10:45 p.m. Deputies are searching for a suspect in that shooting. Also, if you were up and around early this morning, you may have seen an accident on Washington Road. A vehicle was overturned after a wreck ended near East Vineland Road. EMS was called out to the scene, but no word yet on any injuries. Georgia Power and law enforcement crews responded just before 3 a.m. And today, the agency in charge of watching over South Carolina's environment is in Aiken. The public meeting will discuss the large potato farm in Aiken County that News 12 has been following. It is today at 6:30, where locals will talk about Walther Farms, which has permission to draw up to 9 billion gallons of water from the Edisto River. DHEC says the meeting is a courtesy to residents because it's not actually required by law. Opponents say the withdrawal could increase pollution and hurt the amount of water going into a low-country nature preserve. We'll update you on that meeting on News 12 at 6 o'clock. And we have a sweet update to share with you this midday. We are happy to report Wesley Spires and Ashley Soulsby are engaged. The couple was on their first date in May when they were attacked on the Riverwalk, but together they have proven love and faith can bring 2 people together and allow them to overcome. So we just want to say congratulations to the 2 of them. Coming up later in the show, we are on your side with an update to unemployment benefits. We'll tell you why President Obama wants the bill passed with no conditions.
Well, weather-wise, we are in for sunshine for the remainder of today and even going into tomorrow, a fair amount of that. Some cold overnight lows will continue for the next few nights, but we'll see a steady warm-up toward the end of the week. That's coming up in your forecast next. Stay with us.